The first time Ethan Graves saw the painting, he assumed it was a hologram glitch. The museum on the planet Valoria was filled with impossible masterpieces, swirling colors that moved like galaxies, portraits that blinked back at you, sculptures that shifted shape when you weren't looking. But this piece was different. It hung alone on a curved obsidian wall, a massive canvas, 20 feet tall. Upon it were dozens of alien women, each figure elegant, statuesque, glowing like celestial beings. Their bodies were not clothed, for their species saw nudity not as intimacy, but as pure artistic identity. They were muses, living embodiments of creativity. They were painted reclining on silver clouds, dancing among starlight, and resting on what looked like floating thrones sculpted from dreams. The painting moved, subtly, as if wind passed through the canvas. Ethan blinked. Was the lighting playing tricks? He stepped closer. A voice echoed behind him. You feel it calling to you. Ethan turned. A museum curator stood there, tall, lavender-skinned, with crystalline eyes. She wore a flowing robe with shifting patterns, like the movement of water. Ethan cleared his throat. It feels alive. That is because it is. She smiled softly. Valorian muses are not created by the painter. The painter is created by them. He didn't understand. The curator gestured toward a nameplate near the floor. Ethan, read it. The muses wait for the worthy. He raised an eyebrow. Is this interactive? Not for tourists, she replied. Only for those the muses approve. Ethan almost laughed. Oh. Well then, they're wasting their time with me. He turned to walk away, but the canvas trembled. The painted sky rippled. The muses turned their heads toward him. Every single pair of glowing eyes stared directly at Ethan. The curator gasped. This hasn't happened in hundreds of years. Before Ethan could respond, the world ripped open. Light swallowed him. Color washed over him. He fell forward and landed on soft silver grass. The smell of blooming flowers filled the air. A warm breeze brushed his hair. And above him, 2 suns crossed the sky. He wasn't in the museum anymore. He was inside the painting. The muses encircled him, their bodies shimmering like marble brought to life. They were feminine in form but clearly alien. Their skin was painted in pastel hues, their hair flowed like liquid metal, and their eyes held galaxies inside them. But none of this felt seductive, it felt mythic. The way ancient humans once depicted goddesses of inspiration. One of the muses spoke first. You stepped forward when others turned away. Another continued. You saw beauty and did not try to possess it. A third whispered. You do not look at us with hunger, but with wonder. Ethan struggled to breathe. Where am I? In the Gallery of Souls, a muse replied. Where the greatest creators of the universe once gathered. Ethan shook his head. But I'm not a creator. I'm just a cargo pilot. The muses exchanged glances, then laughed softly. Not mockingly, but as if he had told a childlike joke. We see what mortals cannot see, said the one nearest him. Every being creates, whether they intend to or not. Your heart paints, another said. Your memories sculpt, said a third. Your regrets are poetry, whispered a fourth. Your courage builds whole worlds, finished the first. Ethan lowered his head. You've got the wrong person. I don't inspire anyone. One of the muses knelt before him, placing a hand on his chest, not sensual, but reverent. Then why does your soul glow so painfully bright? His voice cracked. Because I've lost too much. Everyone I cared about. The muse's expression softened, the way an artist softens a brushstroke. That is why you are chosen, the lead muse said. Creation is not only born from joy. It is also born from pain, and from the refusal to stop living. As she spoke, the canvas world around them shifted. Scenes formed in the air like memories. Ethan as a child, sketching starships. Ethan laughing with friends around a campfire. Ethan holding his sister's hand before she left for a mission and never returned. Ethan standing alone afterward, grieving yet still going to work the next morning. Ethan helping strangers, comforting crew members, pushing forward when it wasn't easy. He watched his entire life unfold like a moving mural. He fell to his knees. "I don't want to create anything," he whispered. "I just want the pain to stop." "That is creation," murmured a muse. Turning suffering into meaning. Turning loneliness into empathy. Turning emptiness into hope. The muses stepped closer, forming a circle around him, a ritual of support, not seduction, like marble figures gathering around a flame. "You have inspired more than you know," a muse said. "You survive, and survival is art." Ethan looked up. "Why am I here?" A muse offered her hand. "To awaken what was always inside you." When he accepted, the world trembled again. Light flowed into him. Warm, blinding, overwhelming. Every memory, every loss, every kindness, every scar turned into color, like paint mixing across his soul. The muses spoke in unison. "Your story will save others." The world shattered into fractals of light. He collapsed onto the museum floor. Guards rushed over. The curator knelt beside him. "You disappeared. You were gone for 3 hours." Ethan tried to speak, but something else caught his eye. The painting had changed. The muses were still there, still divine and ethereal. But now, somewhere near the center, was a new figure. A human man standing among them. Him. The curator stared in disbelief. Only the greatest beings in history have ever been painted into the canvas. Ethan stood, touching the surface gently. "I didn't paint anything." "No," the curator replied quietly. "The muses painted you." As he turned to leave, she called after him. "What did they say to you?" Ethan paused at the doorway. "They said, 'I matter because I survived.'" The children visiting the museum looked at him with curiosity, then at the painting with awe. And for the first time in years, Ethan walked forward not as someone who endured life, but as someone who shaped it. Behind him, the muses in the painting seemed to smile. Not in longing, not in seduction, but in pride.